prosecuted on voter fraud charges. But I got a call from Sister L, who was with Black Lives Matter and It's Bigger Than You. And we were in Quitman when she made the call, and she asked me to come and meet with the group at Hager Palace, which is 19 Lowry Boulevard at Lowry and MLK, owned by Sister Precious Muhammad. So I went over to meet with them the next night after we came out of Quitman. I took 2 students from Georgia State with me, and I told them that we were going to support them, we were going to be there for them, we wanted to share our experiences with them, but in no way were we going to get in front of them. I said, we will work with you. The first question from one of the young students, I believe she was from Spelman, was, Mr. Brooks, if we get involved in the movement and work in the movement like you have been doing all of your life, and do the things that you all have been doing to bring changes to America, to defeat Jim Crow and legal segregation, Mr. Brooks, if we do this work, should we expect to be attacked? Should we expect to be arrested and persecuted like Dr. King and Abernathy and Jose Williams and many others, Fred Hampton, Mark Clark in Chicago? I said, listen, if you get in this movement, you can't do this work if you're afraid to die. You can't do this work if you're afraid to go to jail. You can't do this work if you're afraid of being persecuted. I said, Dr. King was assassinated because of the work he was doing. I said, Dr. King was murdered and taken away from us precisely and distinctly because of his work. And I said, so if you want to be in this movement now, there is some danger. I said, but Dr. King would say, if a person hadn't found something they're willing to die for, they're not fit to live. He would also say, if a person hadn't found something they're willing to die for, they're already dead. I said, so you have to be prepared to go to jail, to be ostracized, to be harassed. You may get kicked out of school. There may be an injunction to keep you off the property. I said, that happened to many of us as teenagers. I said, but you have to be committed. So what's going on today with saving our lives and fighting the police brutality and even the violence among ourselves, it requires dedication and commitment and courage. But we should be a part of the movement to save Black lives. But I also told those students when I met with them, I said, listen, we're working on a horrible lynching case in Monroe, Georgia, just a few miles east of Atlanta, right below Conyers before you get to Atlanta. I said, you should take over this movement because this represents Black Lives Matter to the fullest. 5 African Americans were murdered, 2 couples and an unborn infant. And I said, down in Quitman, Georgia, the fact that these African Americans are under assault because they dare to vote, they're being persecuted, I said, that's another form of violence. And so I think today, if we can blend the movement of yesterday with the movement of today, I think we can make a lot of progress to stop the violence.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.